Andy, welcome back to SNTTV. It's been an awfully long time since we last had a chat, and there's been an awful lot going on. Not all positive. A lot of horrible stuff going on, losing games and conceding silly goals and red cards and yellow cards. It's all been happening. We find ourselves languishing at the bottom of the table, but there's been some performances of late, and we're looking better for it, aren't we now?
Yeah, I mean, I can't use it as an excuse, but I obviously went away. It was well publicised on the BBC and everywhere else that I'd gone away and left the team, and the performances had slipped a little. But I can't use any excuses for that. The players did nothing different while I was away that they would do while I was here. We just got ourselves into a little rut, and we needed to correct that really quickly. So on my return, I think we had a good performance against Dorchester, although we lost 1-0. We was down to 10 men early on in the first half, and we pressed all over the park, and Dorchester's a big pitch, and it took a lot out of us. So for me, that was an encouraging sign. Then we had Hitchin, which I thought in the first 10-15 minutes we were matching them. Then all of a sudden our performance dropped. We started sitting back and trying to defend a low line rather than a high line, and we got found out and we got punished, and that was probably one of my most embarrassing games that I've been in charge of. Then come along a nice friendly against East Thurrock of the Conference South. We acquitted ourselves really well in that one, and I was more than happy with that. Playing a team above and winning that 3-2 or 3-1 or whatever the score was. It was just nice for people to start getting on the score sheet again, and for us to find the net, because we'd stopped doing that. And then come along Kettering in the League Cup, and you can say that they put out one or two of their not first team players, but they're part of their squad. They're signed on to their first team, and we can only play what's put in front of us. We absolutely annihilated them here 6-0 with a fantastic performance. Not because of the scoreline and the goals, but because of the way we went about it and the manner of the player and the attitude of everybody that was involved with the first team, staff and everyone. We pressed them high up the pitch, we counter-attacked, we got our goals, we got our just rewards. Then we've come along, and we've come to today, and it's a must-win game today. Really is a must-win game. Not because we'd get relegated if we didn't win it, and not because we'll be safe if we don't, But for me, it's one of those that, for confidence levels and everything else, we needed 3 points today, no matter how we got it. First half, we dominated, we pressed all over the park, we nicked the ball high up, we made them look poor, and we got 2 goals, and we could have gone in 4-0 up at half-time. I would have been more than happy with that. Then obviously half-time come, and I spoke to the players, and I said, you don't get any points for being in front at half time. You get nothing out of the game, and we need to go out there as a 0-0 and compete, and we didn't do that. We come out and we were flat. We tried to defend the lead we had. We dropped off. We allowed them space to play, and they got a goal back, and deservedly so, but I think after that, sort of another 10 minutes into the game, then all of a sudden we clicked into us that we needed to be on the front foot, and we started to push forward, starting to win the ball back in the middle of the park a lot easier and a lot quicker. The counter-attack started coming. Once I made the change, and Sparky down the left and Hawks down the right, I think that was really effective. I think Hawks done well when he come on for his cameo. I think that obviously I freshened up the legs in the middle of the park by moving Mikey off and bringing on Rogie, so that freshened us up in there, and all of a sudden we had a spring in our step, and we were going forward. And then obviously with Pete getting a goal today, fantastic for him, because he was outstanding today, all over the park, winning challenges he shouldn't win for the size of him, and generally doing well. And 3-1 winners. I think that we haven't flattered them, or they haven't flattered us with that scoreline. I think that we could have been further in front in the first half, and we need to learn our lessons when we reapproach the game.
How do we go about getting that full 90-minute performance? Because that seems to be where we're letting ourselves down. Is we're having spells and games where we just sit back, like you're saying, and give the opposition that sort of, come and see what you can do, sort of thing.
I think it's just, for us, it's just a mindset. We train at 100 mile an hour. We train and we press for the whole time that we have them. Our sessions are only an hour and a half each one, but we train twice a week. So it's for me, we should play as we train, but sometimes we don't transfer it from the training ground to the pitch, and that's when we come unstuck. But I think that slowly but surely we're learning that that's our game. Our game is press high, counter attack, and take the game to them. If we think we're going to sit back and defend, that's not us.
No. So looking forward now, we've got Kettering away on Tuesday. We've seen them quite a bit lately, haven't we? So
yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going there full of confidence. Listen, I believe in these players. Regardless of anything else, I believe in every single one of them players, whether they're on the pitch or sitting in the bench next to me. You know, I think that every single one of them can do a job for this football club, and it's just really trusting them to go out on the pitch and do that for you. It's not easy sometimes if the performances haven't been right the game before, but like I said, I wouldn't change any of them. That they're all secure for me. I trust them. I believed in them when to downside them, and I believe in them now. You know, and you can't go and nick a point against Chippenham. You can't go and beat Kingsley in 5-1. You can't go and do Frome, who hadn't lost in 13 games. You can't go and get all these points and you know, and away to Weymouth and pick up 3 points. You can't do that and become a bad team overnight. So it's just a confidence thing. But the more I tell them I believe in them, the better they'll become. Yeah,
I said to you before the game, we need to turn into that team that makes the other side scratch their heads and think, how are they at the bottom of the table? They play really well and beat us. We don't understand it. That's what we need to be, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a real simple one. We're already doing that. We're losing to teams, and the other team is coming up to us out of the game going, you battered us.
Yeah.
You battered us. You know, so we've just got to continue to do the things the right way. I mean, when we went to Dorchester, he said, God knows how you didn't win that game. You know, and that was with 10 men on the park.
Yeah.
So if 10 men can make the opposition think that we should have walked away with the 3 points, then I'm sure 11 people on the pitch can do the same. So, listen, I trust my players explicitly. You know, I'll back them to the hilt. They're good kids, they're good lads. And what you've got to try to remember here, and the supporters have got to remember here, this is a 3-year plan. I know the club said it before, but the job's mine for 3 years. Okay, so I've told these players that when they're coming in for not 1 season, they're coming in for 2 and 3, and they'll grow into this level. The likes of Taylor Parr, you know, who's still a little bit raw and a little bit rash, he'll grow into a step 3, if not a step 2 player. So I'm fully behind the boys. I think that they're here for the long term, not for the short term.
Yeah. So we just got to keep believing, and we can see that the football's there, the goals are there.
Yeah.
And it's going to come.
Listen, you can't have watched today's game or any other game that we play in and say that we don't try and play football the right way. There's no long ball here. There's no hoofing it up the pitch and just doing percentages and, you know, stats and all the rest of it. How many times it's gone into the final third? We get the ball down and we try to play. And that's what the fans told me they wanted, and that's what we're doing. So some games we're going to lose, some games we're going to draw, and some games we're going to win. But it'll always be playing football the right way.